illiquidity, which is a handicap for raising capital and for investors in the secondary market. And of course, exchanges, the health of an exchange must be determined, judged by the liquidity of the issuers traded on its boards. So, what is the role of an exchange? The exchange can be an intermediator as part of the Irideus.org proposition. Intermediators can also be a regulator, as in the 2004 US Global Research Analyst settlement. PSQ Analytics, which was launched with support from the London Stock Exchange in 2009, is an example where an exchange has been an intermediator. The role of the exchange is to stand as the buffer between the issuers and the research providers, so managing effectively the random allocation of issuers to one of the research providers that participates in the PSQ Analytics program. The exchange can also oversee the conduct of the relationship between the issuer and the research provider, can act as an arbitrator in case of any disputes that arise. Importantly, the exchange liaises with market participants. The exchange is the point of contact between the research provider and the companies listed on the board of the exchange, and conducts the PR, marketing, and potentially the sales function to those issuers. Generally, where an exchange becomes the intermediator, that means there is a de facto endorsement of the Irideus.org intermediated research proposition. The exchange can provide distribution for the research service through its own website, complementing the research platforms that have been embraced by Irideus. And importantly, can also help provide a market education program for issuers, so that there is a widespread understanding amongst issuers listed on the exchange boards of the benefits of providing research to the wider audience. There are a whole range of decisions that an exchange needs to consider before embracing an intermediated research proposition. Clearly, key amongst these are whether the exchange takes on the cost of the provision of research, or whether this is passed on in whole or in part to issuers. Other key decision points are whether research reports should include recommendations and price targets, and the kind of allocation mechanism that will be embraced, whether the exchange actually explicitly makes the matching decision between issuers and research providers, or whether that's left to any sort of random allocation process. In the case of the London Stock Exchange with PSQ Analytics, the decision was to embrace a relatively simple random allocation model, which is integrated as part of the PSQ Analytics portal. Next step for issuers. First of all, there are a range of levels of service offering that Irideus.org can provide, up to obviously and including the Research Oracle virtual roadshow service. So the first thing is to decide which combination of services most closely fits the IR goals and matches the available budget. The key step here is to register on the Irideus.org website, and then that leads on to random allocation of one of the 5 research providers who stand behind Irideus.org, allocation of that research provider to the issuer. We would then schedule a meeting between the analyst and the issuer's management, draft the first initiation report, publish it on the Irideus.org website, and facilitate wide distribution. That process would generally take up to 90 days, but we generally try to complete it before that time. What are the next steps for investor relations firms? ROVR will be free to many of your clients by virtue of their size. If they're large enough and they're liquid enough, then it is the institutional investor audience who funds the roadshow presentation. We'd like you to work with us to help detailed investor targeting, so that a combination of your efforts and our efforts can bring the widest possible audience to your client's story. We'd like to work with you and your clients to perfect their presentation, and also to improve their front of camera presentation skills if this is a new activity for those presenters. We'd like to work with you to make ROVR part of the regular trail, if you like, on your clients' regular roadshows. So those clients who already have a physical roadshow program each year can make a ROVR presentation just one more stop on that trail, so that we can help to extend the reach of your clients' reach and appeal effectively to geographically dispersed shareholders, and importantly to prospective shareholders. We'd like to work with you to introduce ROVR as a solution for your clients, or those amongst your clients who don't already have a physical roadshow program. And for those of your clients who start with a ROVR campaign, we'd then like to help you to build a physical roadshow campaign for those clients, as the attraction, the appeal of your client to our institutional audience builds over time. And of course, if your clients lack research analyst following altogether, then we'd like to introduce ROVR TV with Irideus.org to fill that research gap. Next step for brokers. Many of the institutional asset managers that we talk to about ROVR ask us about commission sharing arrangements and soft dollar arrangements, and certainly we'd like to work with you to develop soft dollar and CSA solutions where our institutional asset managers are directing us to you. Equally, we'd like to work with you to provide ROVR and Irideus.org to the institutional asset managers with whom you have an existing relationship, and where we can bring new companies from new geographies and new sectors. And finally, we'd like to work with you to add ROVR to the physical roadshow itineraries that you organise, in order to extend the reach of your purely physical itinerary within the tight timescales that are imposed by issuers when they might only have a limited number of days to work with you and your clients. So before I move into Q&A session, where any of you participating today are welcome to ask questions either verbally over the platform or through the instant messaging tools. I'd like to invite anybody who wishes to make contact with us after the event to feel free, either by phone or by email, to any of the contacts listed here at our offices in New York, Australasia, Southeast Asia, UK, Europe, and Middle East and South Asia. We look forward to following up with you after this event today. And for those of you who are not attending the Q&A, thank you very much for attending. And we look forward to working with you on ROVR and Irideus in the future.